So this is the last day, and this is Friday.
Yes.
And here is a list of workshops offered, self-organized workshops, and this is important to emphasize. CCI is always on the spot self-organized workshop. These are the morning workshops, and some of them are in the afternoon. It's like the afternoon workshop could be co-counseling Psalms, talking to your mother, or somebody who just cancelled it, which is also nice because that's how it may happen. In the morning we had living in peace with the past, the present and the future, and cross-cultural sharing about CCIs in all the countries who are represented here. It was a singing workshop with some sessions from lament to celebration. And this one was offered by someone, my ancestors and me. And now I'm asking Niek, who has been in touch with co-counseling for so long, and you offered the one in this morning. Why? What makes you continuously wanting to offer something?
Well, it's not so much the need, but I would like to offer anyway one workshop at the CCI, because I think I have to contribute something as well. So I offered a very easy workshop about living in peace, because I think living in peace with the past, the present and the future is the goal of co-counseling. That's why we do it. Mm. And I asked people who wanted to attend to think for themselves or talk to themselves about what they disliked, what they liked, and if they disliked something, how they would like to have it happen. And that worked perfectly. It was a very easy workshop because anybody had 20 minutes, and 20 minutes for her or himself, and could tell and say what they wanted. And that was it. And discharge or not don't discharge, and get a warning 5 minutes before, 2 minutes before, and then the bell rings and you have to change.
You know, I want to share with you, it was in the late 80s when I came across co-counseling in 86 in Hungary. And it was then, actually, that was the Chernobyl weekend. I never forget. When I had talking about discharge, that was a big event. And in the past 5-6 years, I came back to CCIs again. And one of the things I want to mention is that compared to 26, 28 years ago or 30 years ago, when there was a lot of discharge everywhere, handkerchiefs, pounding cushions, and people really into that, and that's kind of liberation need for that. Something shifted and changed. And also, there are new people in the Co-Counseling International, but there are old people who have been around for decades. What keeps you here for 20-so years? And how old were you when you started to learn co-counseling? Because I think it's important for co-counseling, for the world.
I was over 50, I think.
That's right.
I'm 83 now.
And you were a successful man, weren't you,
yes,
in life?
Yes.
So?
Well, anyway, my life was just after the second time I was divorced. No, the second time I was divorced. So I was fed up with women, and then I joined the men's group, and they invited a teacher, a woman, to explain about co-counseling, how it works, and that was for me the start. And I knew immediately that this is what I'm looking for.
But why?
Because I am responsible for my feelings, for my poorness, for what I dislike or what I do like, and I want to be my own responsible person.
Right.
I am the one who is responsible for what happens. So, and that fit in especially with what I mean that it is. It is now, 30 years later, that I understand that the goal of co-counseling is to live in peace with your past, which might be difficult, the present time, which is invading as well, and the future, and I don't know, and we have in common that future.
Well, actually, I think the living in peace with past is very important, and this CCI, it has come up with some workshop topics around trauma and pain,
Yes.
individual and social trauma.
Yes.
I just came down from this workshop in the morning, of the honoring differences and diversity, and how much pain we can cause to one another.
Oh, sure.
And then it really just moves on and on and on unless we stop.
Yes. I mean, I had about 20 years or 40 years of discharge. I needed discharge. I needed discharge, and we all needed discharge because we had covered all things we disliked so much for years and years and years and years. So it was a huge heap. That's the reason why co-counseling changes.
And then the distinction I want to make, because the world does discharge, it's part of the world, but this is discharge without harming others, and that's the important thing, because it's offered in a self-responsible, safe space, so that out in the world we don't live out some of this suppressed stuff. That's right. So that's how we can make the peace with us.
And you have to make the peace yourself. It's not something that there is peace and we have peace as well.